we as people of voyaging communities, of voyaging all over the world, have come together as one family. And that's what we should be doing right now, is being one family, sharing one dream.
When she saw voyaging became what she was searching for, that was her passion. She made sure that she was going to stick with it no matter what happens. And that is what she did. She stayed with it until she could no longer sail no more.
Because she just wanted to continue voyaging, and it showed how much she loved it. That she'd rather be on the Waʻa than anywhere else. Through her time with Makali'i and being fully plugged in full time, it gave our family an extended family that we never had.
So the first time that I met Nani, there was a group that came from Hana, from the community, that all came over to Makali'i because they were looking to continue this tradition, wanting to understand it more, build this pilina with Makali'i. And that's exactly what we did. You know, meeting Nani for the first time. She's a really quiet woman, but very focused. And as we got to know Nani, it was really, in that sense, you could tell how much she was looking to do for her community, for Hana, and how much learning about how Makali'i started within the community and with the families, how much that really inspired her to look to do the same thing for Hana.
I don't think that there's a single story that I can think of that truly shows the passion that Tutukanani had for voyaging. To me, it was her lifestyle, and for her, it was all-encompassing. Like, she truly made voyaging her life. And so when you think of Auntie Kanani and the commitment that she has shown to our ohana and to Makali'i and to her own ohana, I think that's where the passion lies. That she made a commitment to all of us and her community that this is her practice, even at the age that she was when she sought out voyaging.
One of, I think, my favorite lesson about Auntie Kanani was she was very adamant, I think, about making sure that we were perpetuating our culture. She was made sure that there was the next generation behind us to take our places when needed. And one example of this is how she prepared us to be on a voyage and have those lessons for ourselves. She gave up her seat from Hawaii to Majuro, lasting about 27 days, so that Puolani, Lincoln, Maielua, and I, and Kiaka Mo'ikeha could have that experience of being on a canoe and learning our kuleana. And if it wasn't for both Auntie Kanani and Auntie Patty Ann, maybe we both wouldn't be who we are in our voyaging practice today because of them.
Growing up around Makali'i, but more so birthing my children and raising them on the Waʻa. I always looked up to Auntie Kanani as our pillar, as a wahine voyager. Her and Auntie Patty Ann truly embodied that for me and for many of the young wahine voyagers aboard Makali'i and other vessels. So it was really special when my keiki were babies that she built this immediate connection and bond to them. And that's why we call her Tutukanani, because she truly has become a grandmother to them and to all of us. In many ways, our ability to keep sailing and keep voyaging and continuing to help with programming and all the things that we've been doing for years with Makali'i and even Kanehunamoku and other canoes that we sail on is because Auntie doesn't only support us with words of encouragement, but she's also supported us by helping us to raise our keiki and take care of them when we had to be on the canoe.
I first met Tutukanani when I was young, like 10 years old, 11 years old in those early program days. And Tutukanani back then was the embodiment of selflessness. I remember back then that Tutukanani was always volunteering to help, and she would always be the first person to raise her hand. She knew what her job was, she knew where her kuleana was, and most of the time that was near Papa Mau. Being his right hand, being ever he's hungry or thirsty, she'd be there to respond. But her and Auntie Patty Ann, they always were there for us in the beginning. They were always present. Whenever we were moving the canoe, they would just be there. They would show up. Whenever we'd have lessons, even though they weren't our teachers teaching us the lesson of the day, they saw the importance of being present during those lessons because they wanted to ensure that we were getting the best of it, yeah.
Oh, the last sail that I had with her was, we were just wrapping up our Hanauno'ola voyage. It was a voyage to Mokumanamana. And so the leg she was on was from Molokai to Lahaina. And she was in such a weakened condition already from all the cancer and what she was fighting. And so there's a lot of planning going into getting her on board. I wanted her there with us, but knowing what her physical condition was a big concern. The weather wasn't good she wanted to go all the way home to Kauai, but the weather wasn't good. And so when we stopped in Lahaina, I told her that she had to go, she couldn't come with us. And she was really, really mad with me. We put her on the escort boat and took her in where Mandy was waiting at the pier in Lahaina. And I knew from the run in that it was a rough ride in because the waves were getting big. But I knew if she had come across with us, she would have gotten hurt or sick. So I made the decision to leave her on Maui.
So the last memory I have of sailing with Tutukanani was on Oahu, and we took her sailing on Kanehunamoku, and it was a nice wind, a good windy day, and we took her for a spin on Kanehunamoku, and just getting her to the canoe was a feat. We actually had to carry her all the way out to Kanehunamoku, but once she was on the canoe and sails were open and we were gliding across Kauahau Kamano, she just lit up and she was so happy, and she really, really enjoyed that. And she needed that sail at that time in her life, and I can see her face and how happy she was to be on the water again sailing.
As I sat in my living room pondering about where my life was going to go, I knew that I had to do something to give back to our students and our community. So when that happened is when I made the decision to build a classroom folding canoe to teach our students.
When she came to ask me for the canoe, it was the 1 year anniversary of Tutu Patty, who basically every run that I did for the canoe, she was on. And so they were best friends on the canoe. Sisters, they were mothers to me. And so she came up to celebrate that 1 year, anniversary. We're eating dinner in our house, and she said, I know what I need to do with my life, and a lot of it was she was battling cancer for a really, really long time, and so she did a lot of reflecting, and she knew that she needed to do something for her community of Hana, which was to build a canoe. And so she knew that I could build canoes, and so she asked me if I could build one for her. And her main goal was to have the kids of Hana and her family as well be a part of the construction and the building and the maintenance and the sailing of that canoe.
When that idea and the dream of Auntie Kanani's came about of having a canoe and building this waʻa for Hana, for her people, for her community, it's such a beautiful vision, and I was so happy, and it just warmed my heart that's what she wanted for her community and for her people, and what a dream to have and a legacy to leave behind.
When Auntie Kanani asked for, or said that she wanted a canoe to be here at Hana Bay for all of her mo'opuna and her community to use, I felt like it was a dream come true. And I was more than grateful and honored to help in any way I could to make that happen.
When Tutu Kanani asked for a canoe for her community of Hana, it to me was the most Auntie Kanani thing that she did, right? She again was thinking selflessly. She was thinking in a way that I want to still leave back a legacy, even though I'm not here, that will still benefit my people. And I'm glad that she knew that we would be okay, that us and her ohana on this side were maikai, and that she gave us an opportunity to give back to her family, who had graciously given us her all those years. You know, there's no better way for us to say mahalo than to give in an act of service. I think the gift of giving something is one thing, but the ability to, like we said, not just to build her a canoe and give it to the community, but for us to have the privilege of being those people who built the canoe. I think she gave us the gift of giving us the opportunity to finally return the aloha to her community as her community had given us by giving her to us.
Again, the most important part of this was Auntie wanting us to shoulder work together and bind ourselves, bind the canoe to the work, to the love of ohana. And I think that's what the canoe does. It solidifies our relationships, because beyond just the canoe being birthed, it's all the work that it takes leading up to it that is really special.
The team that he had formed to help work on the project was working very well. So the help was very fabulous as far as knowing that the project was going to get completed.
I think with the waʻa being built in Hana, you know, I think Auntie's desire to want to have, like I mentioned earlier, that opportunity for her own community to build that type of pilina, that type of connection that she was able to make through the waʻa. And what she really hoped for her own community at home, I think the opportunity that the building of that waʻa was like a dream come true. That I think that waʻa really will carry her legacy, both physically, emotionally, because I think the work that went into building the waʻa helped to carry her desire for that to happen. But also it's a physical manifestation now. As the waʻa is there now. It's built. It's in existence now. It can continue to sail. It can do all those things that Tutu Kanani had wanted. That whether it be the students, whether it be the families in Hana, that they can make a connection to the Waʻa now that it's there. And now it's set aside for the community and all the students to really to care for the Waʻa now. Like how Tutu Kanani cared for others, how she cared for her community. And now they can reciprocate, that they can do that same thing that she did for them.
The birth of the canoes is special in the sense that Hana is such a tight-knit community and they're so small. And I think oftentimes people think that because we live in rural places that resources are limited. And I think it goes to show that when you put the right people in place, that what seems like is impossible can be possible. And so for our strong and fearless Tutu Kanani to have a dream that there would be a canoe for Hana, for Tutu Kanani to contact who she trusted with her dream, I think it goes to show that everything is possible. And that when we put the right people in the right places, that dreams do come alive.
So the week leading up to the launch, as with every canoe that I've helped launch, it is always work to the last minute. We plan so much to try to give ourselves more time than we need, and I have yet to have that happen. So we worked late into the night, a lot of prep, and there was still parts that week that needed to get finished. The last part was the pueo, which is it sits on the top of the mast, and that is it was meant to be that way because it was the last piece that went onto the canoe. It was glued on, I think, a day before the ceremony. But the importance of that part was it was to honor my kumu and his kumu, who Papa Mau. And so my kumu, Uncle Shorty, Bertaman, was introduced to Mau before Hokulea was built, because Mau was carving the pueo for Hokulea, and that's how they met each other. So it was only fitting that would be the last part to go on the canoe. And like I said, it was put on a day before the ceremony. And so with that completed the building. We had everything else done. And then it was just the prep for the ceremony.
My time is limited, but I'm going to continue to fight as long as I can fight to see this project happen.
Her vision was to get her family to get more involved in the canoe and voyaging, learning about navigation.
My emotions when Nahiku entered the water for the first time, and just the entire ceremony around the canoe before being born into the bay in Hana. It was bittersweet. There was a lot of mixed emotions. I was so sad that Auntie Kanani wasn't there to see this amazing day come forth, and at the same time to see her community and how strong they came out, and the amount of hands that got put into this wa'a. It made me very, very happy to know that what she envisioned and what she dreamt of has come to life.
Oh yeah, you're Vietnamese girl. Oh yeah, that's no. You like sucky sucky? I'll go here and walk you through that one.
We gotta get a grip.
In preparation to launch Nahiku and Kauluokoko into the ocean at Kapuokahi, we went through a series of rituals. One of them was Ava, where the canoe was fed our highest offering. We also chanted the Mele Inoa and the Ko'ihonua of the canoes, what their birth story was in many ways. There was a specific part of that chant where I called out to the different parts of the Waʻa, which was really special because the names of these parts of the Waʻa were given by Mandy, Auntie Kanani's daughter, and each of them honored a specific kupuna of their family or a specific kupuna of the Ohana Waʻa. And so calling out to each of those parts in many ways acknowledged that there were these multiple threads and fibers that came together to create Nahiku and Kauluokoko. We were just a small little speck of the end. But all of this genealogy and all of this experience that Auntie carried within herself was actually building these Waʻa long before they physically manifested. And the aha ensured that the intention of these Waʻa was secure, was binded to Hana, to the family, to the community, and to the future of those haumana, those students that live there.
I can see vividly Keali'i and Pualani. I see them, and I know that there were many people on the canoe, but for me, maybe because they were the alaka'i of the canoe, I see them and Auntie Kanani on that initial run. And so when I think back of the canoe, of the launching, I know that there was hundreds of people there, or hundreds of people there, but it was only the three of them on the canoe. As we watched him get into the water and set sail was probably one of the most beautiful things that I got to witness in my lifetime of voyaging.
The ʻAhuʻulaakeawe Waʻa that we held at the foot of Ka'uiki is definitely one of the most significant moments of this entire project. To see the community come together, to see the kahalehoi ohana in full force, all in their beautiful olanakihe, ready to be a part of the birthing of these canoes. I couldn't have envisioned it in any other way. It was truly amazing to see that this ceremony was not just going to birth Waʻa for Hana, but birth a reawakening, a movement, a reigniting of deep passion for ocean sailing. And I couldn't help but think about Auntie's desire to even create beyond these wa'a, but a plan that would ensure that this road, Alenuihaha, this path between our two islands, Hawaii and Maui, would continue to be a connection between her community and ours.
What Auntie wanted us to do with the canoe as a family, as a community, is to stick together, to stay together through the easy and the tough times. And I think this canoe has brought them together in exactly that same way, and even us together with them. And so I wish for the community and the families to continue on, to keep sailing together, to know what it is to continue to maintain this dream. It's easy to build a canoe. That's what our kumu taught us, but it's another challenge or another chapter to then maintain the canoe and each other. So I wish for them to continue on and potentially have more canoes.
Whatever the Waʻa needs, whatever this program needs, my family will be its backbone. And we will step up and continue to keep the Wa'as going. I wish she was here to see it. I wish she was here to sail on it, touch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Like, I'm really, really happy. That yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just happy.
I've lost so many loved ones in my life. Too many times I've had to cry. And now my tears fall down for you. Because you left this world too soon. It's never easy to lose the ones you love. It's never easy, it's never easy to say goodbye. To say goodbye. It's never easy to say that I love you. I love you when it's for the last time. I've lost so many people that I've loved. Sometimes a memory just ain't enough. And though I know that I will see you again, right now I really miss you, my friend. It's never easy to lose the ones you love. No, it's not easy. It's never easy to say goodbye. I don't wanna say goodbye. say that